Hello, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. We're going to talk to you about, for the next 20 minutes, about the future of mobile technology and how it's beginning to become integrated into the grocery retail sector. We're going to showcase and highlight some of our brand new proprietary research into this area and begin to inspire you with new ways of engaging with your consumers over the next 5 years. So, we begin by looking at how the grocery retail sector has looked. The inside of the supermarket from 30 years ago when I was a boy, being taken around these aisles, comparing it to today's shopping supermarket aisles. And you can see there looks like there hasn't been much of a difference. Nothing's really changed. No evolution at all the inside of a grocery retail environment. But when we leave the retail sector and look to the external world, it's quite evident that quite a lot has actually changed. There has been a communication revolution in this area. Mobile technology has really begun to infiltrate and change the way that people use technology inside the retail experience. And this beginning of the marriage of retail and the mobile technology environment began when people like my mother used to go to the grocery retail sector, or used to go into the supermarket and actually wonder, have they run out of bleach? Have they run out of loo roll? You know, they're going to take a lucky dip. They began by using technology for what it was first designed for, making that phone call home to actually ask somebody, do I have that bleach under the cupboard? Do I actually have to buy something else? That was the beginning of this marriage. Now, with the advent of smartphone technology and applications, we're seeing a beginning of an evolution of this pattern. People are using their technology to actually do things such as make grocery lists on their device, something they're always with and they can look to when they're actually in store. So we're beginning to see a change in the way consumers are using technology within the retail environment. Now, the romance is continuing to blossom. By this, we're beginning to see innovative tests and new ways of retailers actually using technology to engage with consumers. A lot of this has come from Tesco, a really innovative retail company that are beginning to use technology inside their stores. So last year in the UK we saw the advent of an application which allowed people to actually scan barcodes which automatically put that product onto their retail shopping basket when they went on their desktop or on their smartphone. So if you consider yourself you're in a restaurant and you have a wonderful bottle of wine that you'd never come across before and you think that's a great bottle of wine, I'd love to order that in the future, you can scan that barcode now on your application, and next time you log into the application either on your smartphone or on your PC, that bottle of wine is already in your basket. It's beginning to change the way that people think about technology in retail. Everyone's seen this piece of work from Korea last year where Tesco had a real problem where they didn't have much of a shopping real estate, but they really needed to change the way that people shopped. So they began to think, oh, how can we use technology to bridge this gap between not having the shops and willing to get people to buy more and more products? And we can see this is the first example of a virtual shop where people began to use their phones while they're standing on an underground platform waiting for the train to actually look at different items and think, yeah, that's really interesting. I'm going to use my phone to scan that code. Automatically, it then goes straight into their retail shopping basket and was delivered at their home for when they got home at the end of the day. Chrono Drive, a French retailer, they've begun to experiment with the actual click and collect retail model. So what that means is if I'm at work during the day and I think, okay, what am I going to do for dinner this evening? I'm going to use my application to actually order a few different products, and then when I'm going to specify I'm going to be at that shop from 6 p.m. this evening, I walk in there, they go, hi Mr. Newman, here's your bags, just pay here and off you go. That's taken an hour of my time, giving it back to me. I don't have to spend time going up and down the aisles. So we're beginning to see the evolution of the way people begin to use technology within the retail experience. So you might be familiar with the launch of the Meet the Screens research come from Microsoft last year. And this research begins to give specific connected devices a role within our retail experience. So we start on the left-hand side with the PC, the desktop, which we call the wizard. This is the home of all of our knowledge, our photographs, and it's still the device that we turn to when we want to do some real deep research and interrogation into a specific product. Then we come to the wizard, the tablet, the device that we use for entertainment. When I'm sitting at home in the evening, sort of looking at the television, I'm using my tablet to get a bit more of entertainment, get a bit of inspiration. That's the device that I use for that experience. But the one that I'm really attached to, and our research has shown people are really attached to, is the smartphone. It's our lover. It's the last thing I look at before I go to sleep at night, the first thing I look at in the morning when I wake up. Quite a sad indictment of my life, but that's just the way that I feel about my device. And with the advent of smartphone technology, we've begun to see a condition called nomophobia come to the fore. What this means is actually people are scared to be without their smartphone device. When I leave it at home, I'm lost. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm not connected. I can't get this information. It's something that I really, really dread being without. So this is how consumers are thinking, and we think that this device represents the biggest opportunity for retailers in the future. How can we take advantage of the way that people use this device, tap into that to personalise and improve their retail experience? Our research showed that this statistic took us a little bit by surprise, that actually 50% of smartphone owners actually use their device when within inside that retail experience. And what are they doing with that device? They're actually price checking. So they're having a look, okay, I'm in a particular retailer today, what can their competitor down the road offer me? Can they do me a better price? Looking at product reviews, what are my friends actually thinking about that product? What do the professionals in that area think about that product? Is that going to change the way that I purchase? And am I going to go from there, or someone who can give me a bit more help down the road? Also, it's simply as, I don't want to actually buy these products and carry them around with me for the next half an hour. Can I use my application to actually order them now and they can deliver them to me when I get home? We're starting to see the beginnings of an evolution of consumer behaviour as technology begins to enter into this retail space. And why do I think this is important? I think that with the advent of all this technology, and the really thing that's going to power it and change it is data. And central to everything that we see of happening within retail is this data and how it's going to personalise and customise your retail experience. So with the advent of things like Google Wallet, which has been in beta for the last 12 months in New York, we're going to start to see retailers begin to look at your previous purchase history, map that up to when you're in store, start highlighting items on your phone, going, okay, Alex, you particularly like this Gillette range, why don't you go down there, we've got a specific offer on there, try this new product, and it's over on aisle 16 over there, go and have a look now. This is going to start being plugged into your retail trolley, which is going to go, okay, Alex, you have a specific diet where you're gluten-free, you've just put some pasta into your basket, actually that doesn't meet with your dietary recommends, take it out, swap it for something else. And again, all the time when I'm putting products into my basket, I can see what my friends are thinking about it in real time. So I believe that all this marriage of different data points is really going to be taken by retailers to improve the personal and relevant experience and make it more interesting to me and more better return on investment for retailers in the future. So we're just going to show a couple of videos which
not exactly known for making better boyfriends
shopped in the future.
Paul's mobile reminds him that tonight he's due to share his culinary skills with his new girlfriend Lucy. But what to cook that'll blow her socks off? According to the app, the night Lucy changed her status to in a relationship, they had shared stuffed vine leaves at a little Greek place. Unfortunately, our budding Ramsay has no clue where to start. No problem. The app seamlessly sources the perfect recipe, correlates it with what's already in his fridge, and finds a nearby supermarket that has all the special ingredients he needs. It even recommends the perfect wine to accompany the meal. With one tap, Paul has bought the lot. By the time he hits the supermarket, Paul's groceries are bagged and ready to go. For the icing on the cake, Paul uses his smartphone's projector to play the video for their song as they eat. Mission accomplished. Girlfriend suitably impressed. Paul ranks the recipe as a success in his app, so the next time he wants to show off, his smartphone will have an even better idea of what to suggest.
And the second video is going to look at how Joe might actually shop in the future.
Creating shopping lists can be quite a laborious process, so why not feed inspiration into an app and let your smartphone do all the hard work in the supermarket? During the week, Julie spots recipes and products in her favourite magazines and scans them into her phone. An app turns these selections into an active shopping list and makes suggestions according to her choices. In the supermarket with the kids, a tablet built into the trolley keeps them entertained as Julie's mobile guides her around the aisle. Localised GPS mapping shows Julie where she is in the supermarket in relation to the items she needs. As she peruses the shelves, the app also highlights items on offer according to her shopping history. Julie scans an item with her mobile and the app warns her that the product isn't compatible with toddler Billy's nut allergy. Moving on, a push notification informs Julie there's an in-store taste test of a new flavour of her favourite yoghurt on aisle 4 right now. With the trolley full, Julie heads to the automated checkout, where she simply uploads her scanned item lists and pays, all done with her smartphone.
So we've seen the future as presented by our wonderful drum. And the question is, which one of you grocery retailers and grocery brands are going to be the first to deliver this future? And just how far can we stretch consumers to go there? And how far is technology currently meeting their needs? So we partnered with Microsoft Advertising to do some never seen before research into how consumers are actually using mobile in store. We visited 5 markets which represent where smartphones are on the adoption curve. We went to Japan and Korea, who are way ahead of the rest of the world in how people are using their phones. We went to the other extreme where Brazil are in the first flush of love with their smartphones. And we balanced this out with the US and the UK, where we've reached critical mass and people are starting to adapt new forms of behaviour. And how we actually did the research, we worked with Flamingo, which is one of our Omnicom partners, and they have a unique app that respondents upload onto their mobiles and then can share all of their shopping experiences. So we were actually in store with consumers watching, being fed back live, what they were doing in store and how they were using their phone. So it was like a unique insight and getting under their skin. And we topped this up with accompanied shops with in-depth interviews. And then to quantify the ethnographic findings, we did online research with 2,500 people across our 5 markets. So what did we learn? We learned some global truths about grocery shopping, which is important to hold with us when we think about the role that mobile has. When we're grocery shopping, and I don't know how many of you actually get down and dirty in the store every week, we have 2 mindsets. The first is our head mindset, and that's the very practical, functional mindset of what do I need to buy and how cheaply can I buy it and where am I going to buy it? And in the second mindset, it's all about the heart, and that's what the basket actually represents. This isn't just food and personal care items. This is us caring for our families, nourishing them, delighting them, surprising them, showing that we're a good mum and that we can deliver for them every week. What's happened since the global recession is that we're starting to spend too much of our time shopping in the headspace. This isn't great news for grocery brands or retailers, because when we're shopping in the headspace, we put less in our basket. We're too cautious. We're putting things back on the shelf. We're checking too much. When we're in the heart space, we take much bigger baskets home. And that's where we need to encourage consumers to go. What we found, interestingly, is that no matter how evolved the market was in terms of technology, consumers are using their smartphones in more or less the same way, from Korea right through to Brazil. We're using it in a very perfunctory, almost boring way, can I say it? The phone, which is our lover, suddenly becomes a calculator, something to check prices on, add up our basket size. Occasionally we'll look for recipes on it, but it's not surprising and delighting us. And some other interesting things we found was that there is often a big cultural barrier which will stop people embracing digital technology so much, which was particularly the case in Japan, where we were speaking to mothers who felt like they weren't really being good mothers if they were using technology to help them to shop. And online shopping was almost seen as a slight taboo, that I'm not a great mum, I'm not going down the store and actually looking at what's on offer for my family. So a very perfunctory relationship going on here. It needs spicing up. It's almost become a marriage of convenience. We're using mobile to have coupons delivered to us, to control our spend, to share deals with other people, to price check and to compare prices. This isn't really where we want mobile to be. It's not how mobile behaves in other categories. So why is it stuck in the past in grocery retail? Even exploring social media in our research, we found that all of our respondents were really embarrassed about liking a supermarket on Facebook. It was something that they didn't really want to be showing up on their timeline, but they were doing it to get really good offers and deals from the retailers. So how can we change this? We've already explored that grocery is a highly emotional category. This is about our loved ones. And the mobile is the device that we're least likely to give up. In our research, it was the tablet that went first. That was the one we were the most, if we had to give up a device, it would be the tablet. We think it's time that mobile slapped on the aftershave, put on its pulling pants and got a bit more emotional in the grocery space. And there's two big opportunities to shake things up. One is the headspace. We're not going to move out of this. We're always going to have to deliver price and value to consumers. But we're doing it in a way that frustrates consumers at the moment. It's not a seamless, integrated process. All the mums we spoke to talked about the manual labour that goes in to having to switch between different apps, one app for weight management, one app for price checking, one app to manage their loyalty cards. We need to look beyond how we're doing it currently and make this more seamless. But the big opportunity is in the heart space, and not many retailers and brands are playing here. This is about moving grocery not to be the Wikipedia, but to be the Facebook, to be the place that has those emotional connections, where we're surprising and delighting consumers, giving them value, but value that's not just focused on price, because that is a race to the bottom that consumers and retailers are pushing each other on now. It's to deliver greater value beyond the price tag. And shoppers want this. As part of the research, we use very innovative projectional techniques to take consumers to where they think they're going to be in 2015, and that formed the basis of the videos we've just shown you. They want you to use their data properly. This isn't a sector where people are particularly bothered about their privacy or about data use. Very different findings come out. They know that we have this data on them through loyalty cards. They're not quite sure why you're not using it to tailor offers to them, to generate weekly shops based on their behaviour, based on where they're going online. Wanting the family to be able to create a central list, and lots more advice on weight management and control. But the one thing that's coming out loud and clear is, give me a sat-nav in the store. I want to save time in the store. And this is kind of a huge challenge for retailers, because we want them to spend longer in the store and mums want to get in and out there quicker. But there are ways of doing it and keep her shopping. We checked out these projectional techniques in our quantitative research, and we found that experiences in the way people use mobile in other categories is really leading to low expectations and disappointment in grocery. 62% want the offer delivered to them when they're in store, not at 3 AM in the morning. 50% of our Brazilian shoppers actually want the shopping cart that has somewhere to connect the smartphone, so they can push the trolley around and still be doing stuff on their mobile. And they want that all connected in with where they actually are in the store and what shelves they're going past. 50% want to be able to navigate the store on their mobile. So the retailer that is the first there is going to win massive kudos amongst consumers. And they want to be entertained. This really surprised us. They've got the phone in the hand the whole time. They want something interesting going on. This is possibly the dullest part of the week, having to go in store. Nothing changes. We've seen from the photographs, it's looked the same since the 70s. So give them something interesting, and especially around entertaining their children when they're in the store. 30% of them recognise that they will be paying for all of their groceries via their mobile. They're ready to get there. And 24% are actually interested in interacting with the brands that are on the shelf whilst they're in the store. It's almost like they're crying out for a better type of experience, the type of experience they're getting when they go to other types of retail brands like the high-end department stores. But how can we tempt our coy mistress? We know through all our grocery retail experience that she is massively price focused. So the woman who's just spent 400 euros on an iPad, she'll know how much laundry detergent costs in each store. She'll know where she can buy it cheapest. The family that are going off to Disneyland, Florida, she'll know who's doing a buy one, get one free offer on the toilet rolls. This isn't social class driven at all. Everyone who goes grocery shopping kind of knows how much things can cost. And mobile has massively disrupted that, and it's kind of made her even more price conscious. So we believe that mobile can be as disruptive in the emotional space. Kind of think back 5 years to how we were using the internet as a direct marketing tool. We're pretty much doing the same thing with mobile now, and we need to drag it kicking and screaming into a much more involving relationship.
So we're just going to have a look at some of the work that we've begun to do with our clients in this space. Now, we're not saying that we are ready to deliver those visions that you've seen in the videos of 2015, but we've begun to take steps towards that path. So with Waitrose, a UK retailer, we've built an application which actually works as a source of inspiration when consumers are in store. So when I can go in store, I can put in, I'm interested in Italian food and I've got 20 minutes to prepare a dish this evening when I get home. And it's going to make me recipe suggestions based on my own particular conditions. It then will even come up, start showing you where those products are in store, and even suggest a good bottle of wine to go with the dinner that you're going to cook up. Again, it's all about entering into that heart space and making that shopping experience more catered to my own needs. Again, another example of some work that we've been doing with a German retail partner in this space. One of the things that Joe alluded to was the fact that it's all about offer-based, and you know, we all get these emails. We've all signed up. We get an email at 3 in the morning from a supermarket offering me something that I'm not particularly interested in. Well, the work that we've been doing in this space, again, use mobile applications and allows me to actually receive an offer catered to my own taste. So it looks at my purchase history. So when I sign up, I put in my club card membership number. It knows exactly what I've bought in my last 10 visits to that retail partner, and it serves me offers catered on my interest when I'm actually in store in that particular aisle. Makes it relevant and actually resonant to my particular retail experience at that moment. A really great novel use of mobile technology. And because this is another use, again, not in the actual retail space, but some work that we've been doing with a retailer, but not a supermarket retailer. So with Starbucks, it's all about volume of customers and trying to give them a really enjoyable, seamless experience. They get millions and millions of people through the doors of their branches each day, but how can they increase productivity and efficiency? It's all about using mobile to give a really enjoyable customer experience and also make a real significant change to the way their business works. So we've built an application with them which allows you to put credit onto your mobile phone, so when you walk in store, you simply order your coffee, swipe your phone, pick up your coffee, walk out store. It's a really great experience for me as a consumer, and Starbucks love it as well. And again, this leads on to some work we've been doing with McDonald's, again, to drive relevance in this sector. All the work that we've done with McDonald's shows that you generally buy a McDonald's 15 minutes after actually thinking about wanting one. So you have a really short window to talk to that consumer and making it relevant to them. So we've begun to start working with them on how we can use location-based technology to serve offers that are relevant within that specific location, within that time window, and that take my purchase history. So they might know that I particularly am partial to a Big Mac. Alex, they're going to send me an offer when I'm within half a mile radius of a store and tell me to go in store. Again, it's a way of using mobile technology to improve the relevancy and give me a more catered and personalised experience. So we can see a really happy future ahead for the marriage of retail and mobile technology. Now, we don't believe that everyone is ready to take that plunge yet, but we think it's really important for businesses to start thinking about technology and how you can get ready and take advantage of these trends, because we believe the companies that really invest in this area are going to be the companies that really succeed in the future. And how can we help you go on that path? We believe a successful plan has 3 specific elements that we would love to help you with. The first thing that we would do is do an audit and look at what your current offering is within the mobile space. What are your competitors doing in that space? How does that work in terms of delivering your business KPIs? That's the first part. Secondly, we would help you understand what your consumers want, a bit of a bespoke audience research. How are they engaging with you already? What services do they want you to give them? I think this is really important. Retailers often do not look at their consumers and really understand what they want. And thirdly, we need you to understand the future of technology and how it's going to develop over the next 5 years. We would be perfect partners to help you understand and go on that journey and help you integrate it into the future of your business. So what are you waiting for? Come and make a date with us and let us help you into the future. Thank you very much for your time today.